Most of today's generation does not have the patience for photography. So today I'm going to take pictures of this river to explain to you why I'm taking pictures of the river and what I'm doing to get a shot that I can be happy with. I'm currently set up on a tripod with my Z8 with a very old 24-70 lens. It's got the adapter on it to get it to adapt to the Z8, the new mirrorless system. Any camera you have should work. I mean, you could just start out with like a Nikon D80 and a 50 millimeter 1.8 for probably under like $300 and have a fully functional, I mean, it's only gonna be 12 megapixels, but it'll definitely get you started. You don't have to have the greatest, latest, most amazing equipment on earth to do this, to be able to just love what you do. So we're gonna take pictures and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna keep everything in this format just for video purposes because I wanna take a picture and then show you the picture and then talk about the picture and maybe go through the editing process as well. That may be a different video though, so stick around and we will go over things. So when I am looking at the river, it's not moving. Now, of course, yes, the water is moving, but the river isn't going anywhere. The only thing that's gonna change is light. So whether you're photographing it during an overcast day, sunny day, right now the sun is directly overhead, shining in. There's trees, so it's all speckled and crazy. But the reason I'm coming to choose to photograph this right now is because this river is normally crystal clear. You could see right through it all the way down to the bottom, but there was a large rainstorm that just came, and so it kind of made it this turquoise milky color, and that gives it like an opalescent effect. And so I am looking right down here at these rocks, and this looks like moss opal to me. If you don't know what that is, look it up, but come back because we're going to talk about how I'm going to take pictures of it. I'm going to do a couple different things. So the way the sun is shining on the waves coming over is going to be a completely different picture that I'm going to take handheld versus what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take two different types of pictures, but they're going to be the same effect. So I'm going to keep it in the same spot and not move it for this particular photo. So first thing I'm going to do is go all the way up to like f16. I'm going to take my ISO all the way down, and then I'm just going to go into manual mode, and I'm going to go as long of an exposure without blowing out that I can. So even if it's only 1/15 of a second, so I'm going to take multiple pictures at that 1/15 of a second, and you could just hold your camera button down, or you can take multiples, whatever you want to do. What that's going to do is give me a whole bunch of pictures that I could then put into a smart object, stack it, and then do a median effect to simulate if I had a ND filter on here that's set to like 10 stops. Now, yes, I have 100% done the test, and it does look better with an ND filter on the lens, but I'm trying to show you that you don't need all of the crazy equipment to get some of the same effects that you have with just normal stuff. So the other thing that I'm going to do without moving this is switch it down to like f2, and then I'm going to change my ISO up to 64. That's a native on this camera. And then I'm going to go up to as fast as I can go, even with it being dark. This is going to be a dark image, but I'm going to be able to pull it out later because of how editing works in dynamic range. So I'm going to shoot this dark, but it's going to be at 4/1000ths of a second, and I'm going to take like 20 photos. And so for that, I'm just going to show you the difference between taking a fast photo versus a long exposure photo and how it combines and looks different in the effect that I'm talking about. And what it does is makes it where you can see through the rocks sometimes, so it makes a really cool effect. On the other side of this, I'm going to go handheld, and I'm just going to take little detail shots of awesome things that I see around the river. So let's get into that. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod now that I have done that, and I'm just going to look around at different things. And so I'm going to go into 70 millimeters on this. It's a 24 to 70. And just not even moving, just staying from this rock, I can see so many different things. Like the way the water comes through and creates what's called a caustic. That's when the sun rays hit the water and glisten down below. So I'm gonna try and get just one photo of that. And I'm gonna switch it into single frame mode. I don't need 20 different frames of this one single spot. And then I don't wanna bracket or do anything like that. I just wanna get one solid, good looking photo of just a couple different areas so I could show you later. And this is still gonna be underexposed, so I can pull out colors and things later. You should be seeing the pictures pop up on the screen. If not, I am sorry. Maybe it's gonna be in a different video. Now, right now, I cannot even see through the water. This is so fast that I'm shooting. But, like I said, it's gonna come back later. Right now, I'm focusing just on the wave. And because of the high speed, you can really get that action to freeze. Now, this is a special camera, so I can go all the way up to 32 thousandths of a second. There are cameras that can go faster, but I mean, at that point, you're going faster than anything you can imagine. So I'm gonna go all the way up to 800, ISO 800 in the middle of the day because the shutter speed is so fast. So I'm gonna show you the difference between, so that's 32 thousandths, and then I'm gonna go down to 2500th, but I'm gonna take my ISO down. So this is the difference between 32 thousandths of a second versus 2500th of a second. And all I'm changing is the ISO, but I'll be able to take things out later. Now, there's some moss under these photos, or under these rocks, and I wanna kinda get a wave detail with the moss underneath. And the way I'm gonna do that handheld is I'm gonna go back to where your camera is taking as many photos as it can per second. And at that 2500th of a second, I'm just gonna hold it down. So on my camera, I probably just took about 30 photos, but we'll see, it may have been 15, I'm not sure. But now we're gonna just look around at some different things and see what we can see. So so I put my camera on the rock that I'm telling you that I'm photographing because I want to show you what I'm going to do, because I don't know if I can get the angle correct. So this rock is going to be where I'm sitting, and then I'm going to get my camera down as low as I can without touching the water. That way, whenever I am photographing it, I have these little bubbles and things going towards the water as a focal point, and everything else in the background should be blurry because I'm going to focus on the rock. Now, the rock does have a shadow on it. That's not great. So maybe wait a different time of day to do this, but I'm just looking at my monitor. I'm just taking pictures of the rock in front of me. I'm going to talk to you real quick about different compositions and angles from this crazy position. And so sometimes you see light different ways. And right now, what I'm seeing is when I am shadowed in this tree, the water glow behind me coming through these rocks makes a unique look. And so once again, I'm gonna take pictures at a high shutter speed, and I should have switched it back into single mode again. And what you can do is get different shots of this one little shadow area or in a different light. So I'm kneeled down on the same rock that I was just on, and I'm just wanting to get the glow of the light from this. So what I'm gonna do is just put my camera on my knee and use the screen to kind of line things up and take pictures at different focal ranges. And I'm going at right now 2 thousandths of a second, and I'm taking multiple pictures because I don't know what's going to give me the best result. I'm actually even about to switch to a 5:2 bracket and switch it to aperture priority just to see if that gives a different effect whenever I combine the images to try and get a little bit more detail out of it. What I'm thinking about doing is that it's going to be weird for video, but I want to try and put the shadow at one corner and then the other corner of the image just to make reality kind of different. So when you look at it on a normal plane, it's going to be confusing. It's going to seem like your head's tilted. Just waiting for the motorcycle to pass. I've been trying to think of some conclusions for this video and I am drawing a blank. The only thing I can come up with is I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you stayed all the way and watched all the different little techniques of taking pictures of each individual little parts of the river. And I just hope that next time you're out in nature, you actually stop and appreciate what you're taking pictures of and look at it in a different light, at a different angle, with different exposure settings, maybe switching to spot metering instead of average metering, and changing your shutter speed to things that you've never done before. Experiment with it and try and get something remarkable that you would love to actually sit there and have a conversation about. The thing that I hate most is when people have all of these pictures with their phones and they never do anything with them. Actually sit down, think about a shot you would want to have a conversation with somebody about, take the picture and then use it as an actual conversation point. Even if you have to bring around a hard copy of it in like a 4x6 or something, I think that would be an interesting icebreaker. Just sitting around at a party and then somebody says, "Oh, what's your little thing there?" And you're like, "Oh, this is pictures I've taken. Did you want to take a look, or are you not interested in that?" 9 out of 10 times, I guarantee they're going to be like, "Oh, are you a photographer?" "Nope, just a hobbyist." Or, "Yes, full-time photographer. I actually sell these prints, and this is how I do it sometimes. I talk to people individually, and then I give them my card, and they purchase them online and have them hanging in their house." It's a crazy concept that some people don't even think about, but you have no rules in life. You can carry around a 4x6 little thing of photos, and you can just walk up to people and be like, "Hey, I'm a professional photographer, and I take ridiculously crazy photos of birds or of concrete stamped bird houses." I don't know what you want to take pictures of, but maybe they're interested, maybe they're not. If they're not, just walk on to the next person. What's it gonna hurt? They're gonna say no. They're gonna be like, "No, I'm not interested. No, we don't want it." All right, you tried. You at least went to somebody and talked to them about something you love. And then 1 out of every 100, you're gonna come across and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I take pictures of rivers too." Or, "I love taking pictures of my kids. Can you help me take pictures of my kids?" And then you're gonna be like, "Well, I don't really do courses or anything like that." And then that may set you down a whole different road. But at least you went out there and you took pictures and you're trying. And not everybody's gonna have a river. I lived 40 years of my life without a river. And now I have a place that I live in. This is not my place, but this is a public river that I can go to and take pictures of. And I wish that for everybody in every environment. If you're in the desert and you love taking pictures of sand, like, sand is interesting. People don't give it as much credit as it should. I am rambling for the past 5 minutes. You guys don't have time for me to ramble. Go watch the other video if you want to watch me ramble. So that's going to be up above. Like, comment, share. I don't know. I'm walking away.